Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Ellie Campster.
And me, Liam Underwood. In this episode, it's all doom and gloom. We're talking about the end of the fucking world. But let's have some fun before we get to that by catching up with Ellie and Liam. Catch me up.
Okay. I, Liam, went to visit you last weekend.
Yeah, but why don't we sort of start at the beginning?
Okay. Oh, God, because there was...
Yeah.
We've done it twice, haven't we, in the same period of time?
2 weeks ago.
Liam, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We met up.
It was very spontaneous.
It was like one of the sunniest days we'd had in a while.
Well, it was meant to be.
After England's blizzard.
Yeah, it was definitely meant to be.
It was, until like halfway through the day.
Yeah.
But we met up, and since Liam's been to Canada, listeners, he has been on a real activity kick. He wants to get out of that house. He wants to explore Britain.
And everyone loves it.
We're all just so happy to be dragged into this.
Yep, except no one really likes it.
I liked the first one, and I liked the second one. I just, there are certain issues with it.
I don't know if Kat did.
I think Kat enjoyed the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
Did she not? She might not have.
No, she did. I found it a bit boring.
Of course you did. You're so broken. So we met up and went for a walk.
Last minute, like literally the day before.
Yeah.
I was like, really good weather tomorrow. Let's not waste it. And you had wild plans, if I remember rightly.
Did I?
Yeah, you were going to spend the day tidying your bedroom.
Yeah, and then I was like, this is the perfect excuse not to do that again.
Yep. You're welcome.
Did that. Thank you. I don't know if I should thank you, because I really need to clean this room.
Have you still not done it?
When would I have done it, Liam?
I don't know. The week after.
I tried. And by tried, I mean I cleared a bunch, and it still needs cleaning. That's how bad this room is. Yeah, so we went for a walk in a forest.
Yeah.
Our followers on Twitter might have seen some photos of Liam sitting inside little tiny wooden yurt things with me.
Yeah, we got some correspondence about that to be read out in a later section
exciting.
of the show called Housekeeping.
Yeah, so we did a walk. Kat and Liam didn't bring water because they're amateur, countrysiders. They live in the countryside, but they don't know how to sort of survive it.
It was like a tiny little walk that you didn't really need water for.
But I wasn't thirsty at the end of it, Liam.
Neither was I.
Well, believe it when I see it.
You did see it.
I saw the first signs of dehydration, mate, is what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know, it was a walk.
But exactly, that's the thing. We did a walk. We went to this place called Alice Holt Forest, and we just did a walk. It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was your idea, mate.
Yeah, I know. It was good to get out, and it was good to be a bit active, but it was just a walk. Like
I do love how quickly that swapped, though, because you were like, I didn't really enjoy it. Whatever. And the moment I said it was your idea, you're like, yeah, it was like, the core of it was good. It was just the boring bit.
It was my idea. I'll admit that. It rained halfway through the walk, which was less than ideal.
It wasn't like a crazy downpour, though. It was raining, which is annoying when you're out without protection. But it wasn't like pissing down.
No, but the thing is, it was a walk, and I think I was making this point at the time. Like, it wasn't really like when you do a walk. I don't know. Let's just use a random example, like Canada, for example.
Oh my fucking god!
You've always got the potential of maybe coming face to face with like an elk, whereas here, I think the most exciting bit was when a girl cycled past, and then her mum cycled past, and the girl looked like she was having a great time, and the mum looked like she hated everything.
Yeah, but you can see animals here still. I don't know. I don't get, like, you could see a deer. Deer are pretty fucking impressive.
We didn't see a deer.
No, but you might not have seen an elk.
No, You can see deer in
I'm just
Canada.
saying that's a redundant comparison. You're saying you've got the chance of seeing an elk in Canada, and I'm saying you've got the chance of seeing a deer in England.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It was a walk, We walked in a big circle, and along the way, we sat in some little things, and we went to a lake and looked at it, and then walked away. Yeah,
it wasn't great, Liam.
It was all right.
It was fine.
Yeah.
So then, continuing this sort of binge of activity that Liam's on, he was like, hey, we've got bank holiday coming up. Do you want to come down? We'll go for a bike ride.
Well, I think we discussed this on the podcast when we had Sam on, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we had mentioned it.
Yeah, I think this isn't new news to listeners if they're regular. I think we have mentioned.
Yeah. Just catching new people up, Liam.
Yeah, okay.
We went for a bike ride.
Yeah.
We didn't see how long the bike ride was.
Well, again, it was another one of those things that not quite as spontaneous, but definitely not particularly planned.
I mean, it was a bad sign, listeners, when the morning of... Was it the morning of the bike ride?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I came down from the spare room upstairs. Not really a spare room, it's a study, but I sleep in there.
It's my office.
It's Liam's office, and I sleep on an inflatable bed that is now broken.
Yeah, you broke it.
I did not break it.
Well, you're the only one that slept on it.
It's because you leave it in a cupboard. It was inevitably going to eventually break.
Well.
Anyway, after my night of sleeping on a deflating airbed,
Yeah.
I came downstairs and Liam said, I don't really know what we're doing. I sent Kat the links a while ago, and Kat hadn't planned it because, it was Liam's idea.
Yeah.
And Liam suddenly had this sort of moment of realisation that maybe he should have actually looked into it.
It all worked out quite well in the end.
It did.
Like
There were a couple of moments where it looked like it was all going to go tits up, but it didn't.
Yeah, like we got to where we needed to go in quite good time. We managed to hire bikes without having to like pre-book them or anything.
Yeah.
The only, not even regret, but like if I could do something different, at the bike hire place, they gave us 2 different like trails that we could follow, and I didn't realise that they were 2 different trails. So
yeah.
One of them sounded so much more exciting than the other one. Like one of them, you went past a deer reserve, you went past this place called the Deadwoods, and on the map there was a little skull, and that just looked delightful. And then there's another one which you kind of just go through like a wooded area. There wasn't like a lot to see along the way, I don't think.
No, I know that you're excited about going again, right? And like doing the other trail.
Yeah.
I do want you to temper your expectations, because I've been to the New Forest a few times, and the fact that you described the first one as just a wooded area, and you've described the second one as this sort of exciting, fantastical journey into something that sounds quite frankly a little bit like Narnia.
There's a deer reserve.
Yeah, it's just going to be more woods, and then you're going to get to a bit that's called the deer reserve, and you're probably not going to see any deer, because they're quite skittish and don't come near people, and will be on bikes making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
The Deadwoods is just dead trees. It's not like an exciting...
Yeah, but I can do a photo
area.
shoot.
This is the thing, listeners, that annoys me the most about doing these days with Liam, is you don't get, like, natural photos. You don't just have a day and then come out at the end and go, oh, look, here's some nice photos of us riding. What you get is, about every 20 minutes, Liam going, hey, do you want a photo here to Kat? And then him, like, riding ahead, positioning himself, then Kat having to ride down... so that Liam can get these photos. It's ridiculous. I hate it.
It's good. But yeah, out of the 2, I much preferred the bike ride. It was a lot more active.
Yeah, I preferred the bike ride as well.
Yeah, it was... 1, it was a lot more active. 2, you cover a lot more ground, a lot quicker, obviously. And it was just more fun. It was more different. Like, I walk every single day. I don't bike ride every day.
The only issue with the bike ride, Liam, is that you have been working out.
Oh, here we go. We go.
This isn't an insult to you.
This
is insane,
the only
listeners.
issue.
Everyone thinks that I'm really mean to Liam. This is why, because he gets so defensive about everything I say.
I mean, you started it with the only issue.
Yeah, the only issue with the bike ride is that I wasn't fit enough to do 11 miles on a bike.
Yeah, but...
And I was going to say, you've been working out with a personal trainer and you've gotten quite fit. So you managed to do the bike ride and you were doing really well. Like, you didn't get particularly exhausted in it. You were at one point helping Kat by riding back and getting her bike. Like, this isn't an insult to you, Liam. I was saying you're fit.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? Because now
Stop speaking defensively!
No, now you're going to give
Just
the
calm
listeners...
down!
You're giving the listeners these unrealistic expectations because you say, I'm fit and I'm doing all this sort of stuff. And maybe, like, comparatively... Yeah.
Okay, listeners, if you ride 11 miles on a bike regularly, can you just message in and tell me how average that is? Because I think for most of us that would be fairly difficult.
I'm just saying, comparatively to people that are actually fit, I would be struggling to keep up.
I think you're using fit the wrong way. Fit doesn't. I think you're thinking of like buff hulking men.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, that's not fit.
Like, imagine me trying to catch up to Zac Efron on a bike.
Yeah, but that's not fitness, Liam. You're fit in that you are working out and can, not get exhausted climbing upstairs.
Well, yeah.
That's fit.
Well, it's
the stage in between obesity and like bodybuilder. Right in the middle there is fit.
Would you say that? I don't know if fit is in the middle. Surely, like, average would be in the middle.
I think average is fit. I think most people are fit.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just. I don't want it to come across to the
lazy.
listeners like I'm this. Yeah,
no, trust me, Liam. When I said you're fit,
motivator.
that no one was sitting there thinking, God, what's happened to Liam? He must be this muscle-bound god now.
Well,
I don't think anyone thought that when I said you're fit.
Well, that's just. I wanted to make that clear.
Yes, I think it's apparent. People saw the photos on Twitter.
Well, some of them did.
Anyway, that's the only problem I had, was that it was a little bit long. There weren't any reason. Like, I think I'd have enjoyed stopping in the middle with like we saw people doing picnics or going to a pub or something.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about that other route is there's a restaurant, like, so not half, about 3/4 of the way through that you could stop.
Yeah.
And I mean, so here's the thing: the route that we did was 11 miles. I think the other one's something like 14.
Yeah.
So it's a bit further, but I think there's potentially going to be more to do along the way.
Yeah, which I'm fine with, because that's the stuff I like, going out for like a whole day and being out in nature. It's not particularly the like how you're getting around that matters to me.
Yeah.
I just like being out in nature and doing shit.
See, I'm not really a big fan of being out in nature, but
yeah, I know. I noticed there's a massive difference between the way me and you want to do these days.
What do you mean?
Well, you want to go out and do like the 11 miles of biking and be like, yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
I want to be like, let's go look at all the cool nature.
But it was just trees. To be fair, no. Right, out of the two of us, who's the one that lumbered off into the trees off the course to get a
was
video?
That to experience nature? It wasn't so that you could impersonate Bigfoot.
It was, but I mean
that was the mistake I've made then, Liam, because I was very tired. I must have imagined it. I thought you said, "Cat, look at that tree over there. Can you record me being Bigfoot?"
Yeah,
that's what I thought I heard. I must have been wrong.
Yeah, exactly. But get into that tree. I saw some nature.
Did you end up posting that video, by the way?
Nah, I don't think it came out very well.
Oh, that's a shame.
But I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to see nature, there was no point where you were like, "Shall we go and look at nature?"
I mean, that is difficult when you've got you on your bike. I
often was behind,
and Kat, who very clearly was not enjoying most of the experience.
Oh, so you're going to blame Kat now?
It's not a blame on Kat. I think Kat would agree with me that she definitely didn't want to be in there any longer than we had to be.
Yeah, I think she'd agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not blaming Kat.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd have been up for kind of going a little bit sort of what's the word, like off the beaten path. But
the problem with doing it on bikes is you.
No,
can't
that's what I was going to say. Not on, like, maybe leave the bikes to the side and then go off explore on foot.
But then you're leaving rented bikes out, which is not a good idea.
We had like locks. We could have.
You could. Yeah, we had like bike locks. You can't like tie it to a tree with a bike lock.
I don't know. I'm just saying. We could have.
Okay. And what else did we do at the weekend, Liam?
Well, we skipped over, I think, quite an important part of the first adventure we did in Alice Holt Forest.
Oh, okay. Which bit?
After the walk, when we went to get some pub grub.
Yep.
And we looked up some local pubs. Found one that had such a appetising menu. I was so excited. So, we got in our respective cars and we drove there. The start wasn't brilliant. The guy behind the bar was really rude to you.
The guy behind the bar was very rude to me.
I can't remember exactly what he said. Can you?
I said,
I remember now.
Can I grab a? And then he said, no, you can't grab. You can have. And I was like, at first I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. I'll accept. I like that kind of humour. I'll go with it. This sounds like a funny laugh.
It wasn't like he was being jokey.
No, that's what I mean. Like, the first time, it sounded like the kind of thing that someone would say if they were being jokey.
Yeah.
But then it was when I then said, haha, okay, I'll have a Coke and a... And he went, well, wait for me to pour the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this isn't a man being funny. This is a man who is randomly annoyed at me.
Yeah, he was a bit of a dick.
Yeah, a little bit of a dick.
I'll admit, I maybe antagonised the situation a little bit.
You did.
I thought it was funny.
It wasn't.
Because he was so clearly annoyed. So I jumped in, and what I figured out really quickly is he was annoyed if you spoke over him or asked him a question or didn't really listen to him. So I just did all of those things.
Yep, that's very you, Liam.
I kept asking him where the menus were and if we could just go and grab a table. I think I asked him 2 questions in quick succession, and he did not like that.
No, he didn't.
It was brilliant. But so we got our drinks. We went and sat down. We were told that the menus were going to come out in like say half an hour because the kitchen needed a little break. When we got the menus, they were sparse, weren't they?
Well, I don't agree with you on this bit, so you can make your point here, but don't drag me into it.
Okay, so the menu that we saw online looked delightful, and when we got there was maybe like 5 dishes, and none of them were what I wanted because I had like listeners, right? I'm
glad you realised how that was sounding.
I know you've been here,
You know
listeners.
how this is going to sound when you tell everyone, so you had to go,
listeners,
oh, shit, yeah.
Listeners, I know you've been here. You've got a craving for a specific food. We've all been there, and nothing but that food can satisfy that craving. Now, I'm going to tell you something. On that day, I had a craving for pie, and I saw online that this place did pie, so I was so excited. And then when we get there, nary a pie to be found. The menu was barren of pies, right?
Can I just throw in a little example for the listeners as well?
Yeah.
So you've all been in that situation that Liam said, the whole I've got a craving and nothing will fill it.
Yeah.
Except the craving. Now, listeners, picture that you're there with your friend who doesn't give a shit, who you call fussy a lot of the time, and then imagine having the balls to say to that person, we're going to a different pub because they don't have a pie on the menu.
All right, there's another thing going on here as well. Where Kat
yes, all right, now you're going to use Kat as a Kat wanted to leave because she was annoyed at the man.
She was livid though, wasn't she?
She was very angry. Kat gets very angry if people are rude, which is understandable.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think after dating me for however long she'd be more used to it, but nah.
Yeah, but she gets annoyed when me and you are rude.
Yeah, exactly.
We got told off for arguing in a pub.
We did. So yeah, I mean, it is like, I mean, I don't want to just sort of throw this out here because I know there's a lot of weight behind what I'm about to say. So I want the listeners to realise that I've actually considered these words and I've chosen them very carefully.
Okay.
It is like dating a mini Hitler.
Jesus, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It is.
I mean, you can see what I have to go through, right?
Oh, wait, sorry, you were saying that about Kat?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I genuinely thought you were being very honest about yourself there.
No. Sorry. Yeah, like,
got you.
Yeah.
See, because that's weird. Because after having a Saturday where we went to 2 different restaurants because you wanted to go to them, this is a separate day, listeners, to the pub that Liam made us leave to go to a different one. This is this Saturday where Liam was having a cheat day from his diet and basically wouldn't let anyone have any input on where we went. And then at the end of the day, when we raised the fact that we hadn't had a say, Liam said, well, you didn't say anything.
Which is true.
Which wasn't true.
No.
We definitely said throughout the day different things.
No, if someone had said, I want to do this instead, I'd have definitely
now,
considered
Liam, let me take your mind back to Friday evening.
Yeah.
As you sat in Muchos Nachos.
Yeah.
As we do.
Yeah.
And I believe your words to Kat were, I'm having Chinese tomorrow. Nothing can stop me. It's my cheat day. I'm having Chinese.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember that conversation.
And wasn't the Chinese banging?
It's all right. I don't think it's as good as you and Kat think it is.
Yeah, but it is the thing.
It isn't, though.
If any listeners want to dispute this, right, you're welcome to come with us and we'll
I was going to say, what
we'll take you to the... honestly, no, any listeners, like Amanda, you're welcome to fly over. Me and Kat will take you for the best Chinese you've had. Probably.
You will have to sleep on a deflating airbed.
Yep. Anyway, so yeah, back to the first weekend. So after we had that horrible experience at the pub without the pie, we then went a little bit sort of off-road, if you will.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
To the next pub. I had a lamb roast in the end.
Yeah, it was. I will admit that the second pub was nice. It just would have been nice if we'd gone there first.
It was nice. It was worth changing.
Well,
but they didn't have the pie that I wanted.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, they didn't have a pie.
So I had a shoulder of lamb, and it was delicious. I was really happy.
But nothing would fill his craving for a pie, though.
Oh, and then I had an eaten mess, and neither you or Kat wanted dessert, so you just sort of sat there, just watching me eat.
Yep.
Which
Liam does that too, listeners.
I actually don't mind, to be honest.
No, I don't think anyone you know when you eat the dessert and no one else has a dessert?
Yeah.
It's not you aren't meant to mind it because you're getting a dessert. Obviously, you don't mind it.
Yeah.
You're meant to be worried about what other people think.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, you made two people wait around while you eat dessert, and I think we've spoken about on here how slowly you eat.
Not desserts, though.
Dessert you did eat fast.
There we go. Thank you very much.
But still, made everyone sit around for however long.
Don't worry about it. So, yeah, then the latest weekend, so we did the New Forest cycling, then I had a cheat day. We went to a burger place that was amazing. I had 3 helpings of chicken skewers all to myself. It was so good.
Too many for one person.
And then I had a massive burger, which I nearly finished.
But it didn't quite.
Didn't quite. I was smart. I was like, if I finish this, that's going to be bad news. And then we had a Chinese, and it was just lovely, wasn't it?
It was all right.
And we played some board games.
The board games were good.
Yeah. So I in between all that, I have been up to something else I would like to quickly talk about.
Okay.
I started swimming.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. You on one of the days that I was down while I was asleep, you went for a swim.
Yeah, this is completely new to me. Well, not completely. I haven't swam in over 15 years.
That's quite a long time.
Until 2 weeks ago when I went for my very first swim, which was terrifying.
Terrifying?
So, I can't see too good without my glasses on.
Right, yeah.
And I don't like being in that sort of environment where, like, there's a lot going on and I can't, like, read, like, signs on the walls or, like, I don't know, like, I can't make out people's faces. So I'm always paranoid that I'm swimming and I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to not stare at someone, but I'm also trying to figure out, like, where they're looking, like, if I need to get out of their way, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it just, yeah, like, the whole experience, like, was a bit scary. And I learnt some stuff has changed since I last went swimming.
Well, it might be specific to this pool.
No, I mean with my body.
Oh, got you.
So
what's changed? Well, 15 years ago, how old are you? You're 30. 15 years ago, you were mid-puberty, Liam. So I imagine a fair amount changed.
Yeah.
Did you have a moment in the pool where you looked down and you went, I'm hairy now?
Well, this thing, when I put my trunks on, like, as we've discussed on the podcast before, I manscape. So it's generally kept under control. But I put my trunks on and there was still, like, stuff poking out.
When you say trunks, do you mean like Speedos?
No.
What were you wearing?
Like swimming trunks, like shorts.
Sorry, where was stuff poking out?
The waistband. Yeah, I was confused.
Are you wearing? How low down? What?
I don't know, maybe I wear them lower than I wear, like, I don't know. Well, I don't know, because my boxers I probably wear quite low, but then I put, like, something on over them so you don't see.
Yeah, I think, but then you pull up swimming. I think maybe you're wearing your swimming trunks too low, Liam.
Well, it doesn't matter now.
Your pubes shouldn't be poking out the top.
I shaved them all off, so you can't see them.
That's fine, but that does matter because you still might be wearing them ridiculously low.
No, it's fine. I shaved it off and it was all good. Also, it's not just my pubes. Like, I have quite a hairy belly anyway.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. If your hairy belly's poking out, that doesn't count.
No, I know, but it just looked a bit questionable, so I just had to shave it all. And then, the other thing that I figured out, when you get out of a pool, all of the water and stuff just kind of, like, falls off of you, right? And then your trunks kind of just stick to you.
Yeah.
And people can just see everything.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that was a thing.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Just wear black swimming trunks.
Mine are quite dark, but
you're
you
fine
still...
Then. People won't know. People won't notice. Is the thing, Liam?
They
trust
struggle,
me. No one. When
they'd
you
struggle
climb out
not
of the pool,
to notice.
I'm picturing you climbing out of a pool, mate. And trust me, there is nothing more like less attractive to watch than a half-blind man crawling out of a pool and then sort of staring at his dick in shock, with pubes poking out everywhere.
Well, no, the pubes were gone, but the rest is pretty accurate. I also figured out, like, the first couple of weeks I went, you're meant to take, like, a towel into the pool area with you.
Yeah, this is a weird thing that your pool does. I've never been at a pool that does this.
Yeah, so you don't drip all over the changing rooms.
I get the logic. It makes sense, because, like, changing rooms are shit when they're covered in water. But it's just a weird thing that I've never seen.
But yeah, I mean, basically I've been on a big activity kick, and I started swimming, and we went for a hike, and we went for a cycle, and I enjoyed those things. Not everyone that came with did.
I just can't wait for your activity kick to end.
Why is that?
I think it would just be more relaxing for everyone.
Yeah, but hasn't it been good though?
Some bits, yeah.
What was the highlight?
I don't know.
Oh, what was the best bit of the weekend?
Of this weekend?
Yeah.
Watching both Feast films.
That was the highlight?
Yeah.
Shit, that was not a good weekend.
It was a bad weekend, mate. No,
Oh,
I don't know. I always enjoy the board game bit. That's always a good bit.
It is, but what about the whole being outside?
I like being outside. It's not the best bit.
Oh, it's ludicrous.
Sitting down with my friends and playing Mysterium was my favourite bit of it.
That was actually quite good.
Exactly. It's a good game.
But I think we need to find other active things to do.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do some more active stuff.
I'm thinking maybe rock climbing.
I refuse to go rock climbing.
Why?
I don't like rock climbing.
Why?
I have a weird fear of heights that only happens if I have to climb something. And that's not a joke, and it sounds weird, but I can abseil, love abseiling. I cannot make myself climb up like rock climbing walls.
What if it was an indoor one?
No, it wouldn't matter. I freeze up.
That's weird.
I won't go. It's just a waste of everyone's time, and I don't have a good time because I just go to the... I've had before, there was this game, like, you know, PGL?
Yeah, parents get lost.
Is that what does it actually stand for?
I don't know. That's
what
what we were told it stood for. I hated it, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm not a massive fan of that kind of thing. But we went to one. But for American listeners, PGL is like an activity thing for kids.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and they do rock climbing and stuff at some of them and that sort of shit. We did one, and one of the activities we did was this. You stood on a milk crate.
Yeah.
You had to jump up, put a milk crate underneath you, and land on it and stay balanced.
Oh, that sounds hard.
And you were all wired up and stuff, so it was, you know, all safe and whatever.
Right, yeah.
I got about too high and then froze and just looked at the person and went, I can't do it. And they went, oh, have a try. And I was like, no, I've done two. I don't like it. Get me the fuck off these milk crates. Like, and there is nothing more depressing than being at an activity thing and just being like, I'm too scared to carry on doing this. And it's not even at a bit where being scared is reasonable.
To be fair, I had that at a similar thing.
Yeah.
Where they basically did like cave exploring, but it was a shit cave, but I just got in my head about it and just thought I don't want to be crushed in a cave, so I just refused to do it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I get that because I have that with things. Like caves I can do, but I can't climb up stuff. It just makes me freeze up.
That's weird.
It's weird, and you know you're safe is the other thing, like you're all tied up and shit.
Yeah.
But my body just will not do it.
I would like to do a Segway at some point. It's not particularly active, but they're fun.
Yeah, they're expensive as well, though.
That's the thing. I was surprised at how reasonably priced hiring bikes was.
Yeah, it actually was a good price.
Yeah. Anything else to catch up with?
Nope, think that's me.
There you go. Listeners, you've been caught up with Ellie and Liam.
Now it's time for everyone's favourite part of the show, except not really, only Liam's. It's Liam's been to the cinema, and here are the spoiler-free reviews of the things that he's seen at the cinema.
We've both been to the cinema.
Yeah, but you get the jingle.
That's true. I've earned it. We saw Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, we have both seen that now.
We're going to record a special on it.
Yes, which will be up soon after this comes out.
But this is a spoiler-free review of it.
Yes.
It's hard to talk about, no spoilers.
It is hard to talk about without spoilers. It's good.
Yeah, I liked it. I think... no spoilers.
No spoilers.
It was impressive how many characters there were.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when the first Avengers was coming out, and I think
yes.
we had a discussion, and I was like, there's too many characters. I don't know how they're going to kind of successfully do this movie with that many characters, and that's just laughable now.
Yep.
And the thing is, yeah, okay, some of the characters maybe don't get as much of a chance to shine as others, but I think pretty much every character gets a moment, and it's just so much fun seeing certain characters meet other characters and bounce off each other. And I feel like because so much groundwork has been laid to get to this point, what I personally felt the film did really well is it really managed to nail the tone of the different characters.
Yeah, to an extent.
I didn't notice any issues with it, so I was quite pleased with that, and I liked seeing how different characters interacted while maintaining their own kind of voices.
Well, if you want to hear my opinions on how the characters interacted and how accurate they were to the characters, listen to the special.
Yeah, I thought this is one of the few Marvel movies that you can't really complain about the villain.
Nope.
Did a good job there.
Good villain.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good time, and I would give it 4 out of 5.
Yep, I think I'm probably the same.
I saw another film at cinema though.
What did you see, Liam?
A film called Tully.
Did you just saw this, didn't you, before I came down?
Yeah.
Like the day I came down?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
Alright, so it's from the creative team that gave us Juno. So The director is Jason Reitman. The writer is Diablo Cody. You've got Charlize Theron in it, who's, you'll know her from Mad Max Fury Road.
Yep.
It has Mackenzie Davis in it. It has Ron Livingston, and it has the reason why I was excited to see it, Mr. Mark Duplass, who I think he's great. He made his name in Mumblecore.
Yeah.
I struggled with the film,
which is a shame because I love Juno and you love Juno.
Yeah. This was. I don't know if it's just because I couldn't really relate to it, but it's about a couple that already have 2 kids. They've just had their third, and they're just struggling to make kind of time for everything. So they get what is called a night nanny, which is someone who comes in and looks after the baby at night so the parents can sleep and be well rested to deal with like kids and life stuff during the day. So like if the baby needs feeding, the night nanny will wake up the mum, kind of sort that out, and then the mum can go back to sleep. And it's just not very good. I don't know if it's just because I can't really relate.
I feel like it's probably not that, because you can't relate to a lot of characters in films you watch.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I know we've had that discussion before about like relatability and stuff in films.
Yep.
But I don't know why else I didn't enjoy it. Like I like who's involved in it. Just the film wasn't that good. And there was
it can just be a bad film, Liam.
But the thing is, I've read a few other reviews and listened to stuff, and people that like are parents are talking about how much they do relate to it and how good they find it.
I mean, fair enough, I guess. I don't know, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It wasn't for me. There is a weird thing that happens in like the last act that I just felt was unnecessary. 2 out of 5, unfortunately.
That is a shame. That is a low number.
It is. And lastly, so this wasn't TV. No, film. This wasn't... Right, let me start again. Lastly, this wasn't film. This was TV. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Perfect, mate.
Parenthood Season 3 and Season 4.
Oh my god. Can you just review Parenthood as a whole?
No, I'm doing Season 3 and Season 4.
It's just ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
Because no one cares.
I think you'll find Amanda cares.
I don't know if she does.
Amanda, let us know.
Yep. Let us know whether you'd rather Liam just do a Parenthood review at the end.
But
bearing in
by
mind
the end,
that he's
I
back to
won't
his
remember
3.
all of the stuff that happens in the different seasons.
You'll remember if you enjoyed it.
I did.
You're not going to do a review on the podcast and be like, I think I hated this, but I'm not sure.
I did enjoy it.
Exactly. Whatever, just do your review.
So, Season 3, still good. Still enjoying it. I liked Season 3. Let me make that clear. But Season 4 has more to talk about, I think. So Season 4 tackles this storyline, and they do it so well, but it's also just so difficult to watch. Like, it really... So, you've had these characters for, 3 seasons now, and by Season 4, when you see the characters be put through shit, it really hurts.
Yeah.
And it's good, but some of the episodes were just so difficult to watch.
Did it teach you how human emotions work?
No.
Oh.
But yeah. So I'm not going to go into spoilers.
Okay.
One of the characters has something bad happen.
Yeah.
And it's just really difficult watching that character and their family kind of deal with it. It's really well depicted.
Yeah, which I guess is a good selling thing.
That also makes
it
really difficult to watch.
Like the fact that you felt that emotionally attached to the characters is a good selling point.
Yeah, it's such a good show. You've got to kind of watch Gilmore Girls. But...
I mean, I don't think you do.
No, sorry. I'm speaking to you specifically.
Oh, yeah, fine, yeah. I was going to say, you didn't. You said it very, generically, and you made it sound like the two shows were connected, which they aren't.
Sorry, let me just say, you have to watch Gilmore Girls, but I think once you're done with Gilmore Girls, you should do what we've done and kind of have this as your, Gilmore Girl replacement to help you kind of fill that hole.
No, I'm good. I'll probably watch more anime.
Yeah, but that's shit, and this is really good.
I could have said something really mean and hurtful to you then, Liam, but I didn't. I could have said that Parenthood is shit, but I didn't.
Yeah, but you don't know that because you haven't seen any of it.
Maybe I have, and I just didn't want to break your
What
heart.
have you seen? What have you seen?
Maybe I've seen Parenthood, and I didn't want to break your heart, Liam.
You've seen none of it.
I can tell you what happens to a character in season 4.
No, but it's so good. It's so good. So both season 3 and season 4, 4 out of 5.
How many seasons is the show?
6.
So potentially we've only got one more episode of you reviewing it. Yay!
Potentially, but it might be 2. But Amanda's going to let us know if these season reviews are good or not.
I love that. Why is it only Amanda that gets to say?
Because she's like the only one that listens.
Tom, message us.
Let us know if it's a horrible thing, me reviewing separate seasons of the show.
Don't bias the listeners. That's not what the question is.
What's the question?
The question was, would you rather Liam just review the whole show when he finishes, or review season by season?
And I
think that's a fair question.
Season by season is the right way
Stop
to do it.
biasing everyone.
I'm not.
You are.
There is a storyline that happens in season 3.
I don't think you need to go into it. Do you? Why did you jump over it and go to season 4? You're usually all organised, mate. This is confusing
the
me.
season 4 one was just so good. There's several storylines in season 3, but there's one in particular. I loved the storyline, but I kind of hated how it was resolved.
Yeah.
It was just the sort of thing where like they played the storyline out for the whole season, and then like in the season finale, they kind of quickly do like a left turn. It feels like, and I don't know. It just didn't quite.
Yeah.
I wanted the characters to be smarter and just take a beat and like reassess their situation. But it's so good. My favourite character keeps changing, but it's generally Adam Braverman. He's fantastic. I love it when he gets the fever. I love it when he wants to go to Funky Town.
I'm going to cut this out. Housekeeping.
Keeping house. We watched Feast 2 and Feast 3.
You're putting that too nicely, Liam. We experienced hell.
I mean, it's rare that I get sleepy in films.
I think I've only experienced you falling asleep in a film once.
That was that fucking belly fruit film.
That's what it was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was also awful.
Yep.
That's the thing. If a film doesn't grab my attention, I'm going to go sleepy.
I wish I had that ability, Liam.
Yeah, I know.
Because it would have meant that I wouldn't have had to watch 2.5 hours total of 2 more of this goddamn film.
So here's the thing. When we reviewed Feast in the last episode,
yep,
we saw what Liam of a few years ago, intoxicated Liam of a few years ago, had to say about it, right?
Yeah, and he was very, very excited.
Should we have a look at what Liam a few years ago had to say about Feast 2, Sloppy Seconds? Okay, not as good as Feast, but not terrible. Gross, comma, funny, comma, has little people, full stop, can't complain too much. I think that's okay.
Okay, well, that's your choice, mate. I honestly would run that by someone else, because I do not think it is.
Let's run it by the listeners.
Okay. Bold choice.
Is that a problematic thing to say, yes or no? If yes, why? Maybe I could learn something and grow. What did you think of Feast 2?
Me?
Yeah.
I did not enjoy it, Liam. It's a bad movie.
How did it compare to Feast 1 for you?
There was a moment at the beginning of Feast 2 where I believe we sort of looked at each other and I said, it's not as bad as the first one. And then about 10 minutes later, I believe, I said, oh, I was wrong.
So the second one made a big point about really kind of reveling and showing the creatures' penises.
Yeah, I didn't notice that early on.
No.
And then suddenly it just goes... So the issues we had with the first one were that sort of like... Or at least specifically me. Yeah. I didn't like the weird rape shit they added in. Yeah. And I didn't like the lame child humour. Which is, what I refer to as, like farts and stuff. Like, farts are funny in context of certain things. I'm down for poop humour. But this film is basically like a 13-year-old wrote a movie. And Feast 2 is just like that 13-year-old got told, hey, make that film. But, like, we don't think there was enough 13-year-old humour in there.
Is it the second one where the man throws the baby in the sky?
Yes. Yeah, you have to defend yourself with that, Liam.
That was the highlight of the trilogy.
It's not
Which
even
says
funny.
a lot.
It's
says
not
a lot.
even funny.
Both me and Kat laughed.
Kat laughed, but it was not on your side with it.
Oh, she's never on my side with anything.
Yeah, she didn't laugh and go, yeah, you're right, Liam, that is hilarious.
No.
She was like, it's shit.
Look, the episode's running long. What's your issues with Feast 2?
The stuff I just said?
Any others?
No, it's a shit film with shit humor.
Okay, there's one big issue that we're ignoring. So there's a couple of things that it does better.
Okay,
they finally know how to light like scenes, because the first one
is brighter.
Yeah, the first one tried to hide the low budget by just putting everything in dark and then doing shit editing.
Yeah.
The second one, better lighting, better editing. So we have to give it credit there. Everything else is pretty awful about it, right?
Yeah.
I also didn't like how it ended on a cliffhanger.
No, that's true.
Then we have Feast 3, the happy finish. Would you like to hear what Liam of several years ago had to say?
I would love to, Liam.
The first feast was a pleasant surprise, and Feast 2 was enjoyable at least. This is just a mess of a movie. It's not so much that the story isn't great, although it isn't, but the film is just very badly made. Poor lighting, terrible editing, incohesive narrative, all combine to equal quite a poor film overall. Disappointing and a bizarre but crap ending.
I honestly
It's
don't
possible.
know. Oh, sorry, you're still going. My bad.
That's the end of the review.
Yeah,
It's
go on, mate.
possible I watched 1 and 2 intoxicated and 3 maybe sober.
I almost don't believe you, because your review for Feast 3 still said, like, the first one was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, but this was going from these hazy, like, drunk memories.
Yeah, but I think if you watch a film drunk, you would factor that in.
I don't know.
I think you
honestly
would. If you'd seen a shit film drunk, I think you were drunk when you watched 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But I think slightly more sober Liam, who watched Feast 3, was still like, they're alright.
Yeah, maybe.
Which
I don't know.
is bad. I don't know how we became friends, Liam, is what I'm trying to say.
No.
Because if this was, around the time that we met...
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
This might be a good litmus test for if you should be friends with someone, if they like this like,
That's a good idea.
series or not.
You meet new people and you say, hey, let's watch Feast. And then if they come out of it and they're like, that's so funny, you just go, I don't want to ever see you.
Yeah. Or like if you're dating someone and you're like, oh, I think this person could be the one, let's do the Feast test.
Yeah. If they don't slap you at the end of watching Feast,
Yeah.
you've got to leave them.
Yeah. Another thing that I didn't like in Feast 2 was that whole autopsy scene.
Yeah, well, that just lays so heavily on the, like, I don't know. It's because it's not even poop humour, it's just, I don't know.
No, that was more like jizz humour, wasn't it?
It was all sorts of bodily fluids, because they had a fart in that scene.
Yeah, I mean, Feast 3 really sort of doubles down on the poop humour.
Yeah, Feast 3's all about poop.
Yeah.
They're just bad films. Honestly, listeners, never go watch them.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
But if you do ever go watch them, or if you have access to the DVDs, watch the extras for Feast 2, because it really makes you judge the director.
Oh, yeah, he's a bit of a creepy.
Yeah, he is not, doesn't seem, let's not throw shade at a guy who we don't know, but he doesn't seem like the kind of person I'd want to hang out with.
He seems like the kind of person who might...
I think you're about to go too far. I think I maybe know where you're going with this, and I think it might be too far.
No, I think he's the sort of person that would say to you, hey Toots, do you want to be in a movie? And then the actress might say yes, and then he'd say, then let's get sucking.
Yeah, I think that's too far, Liam, because what you've done there is you've definitely libelled someone.
What if I say allegedly?
It doesn't make it better.
Does that not fix it?
No. Just say he's a creepy man and let's move on.
He's a creepy man.
He
Let's
is a
move
creepy
on. We've had some tweets.
Yay!
Will Power tweeted us saying, I think we were talking about video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a tweet thing where he posted like 4 of his favourite games.
Oh, okay.
It had Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Super Mario World, Metal Gear Solid 2, and The Last of Us, which you need to finish.
Yeah, solid choices.
I said I was all about Resident Evil 2, don't think I ever played 3, feel like I missed out. And Will said that Resident Evil 2 gets the most universal praise and is arguably the best in the entire franchise, but there is something about Resident Evil 3 that I just loved. Not the longest of games, but man was it terrifying, especially as a kid. If you loved Resident Evil 2, 100% make sure you play Resident Evil 3.
Fair enough.
We tweeted a picture of us in a yurt.
Yep.
You tweeted saying, finding me and Liam in a tiny branch house would be nightmarish.
Yep.
although you did typo nightmarish, so it actually reads nightmarish.
With an E?
No, Nightnar.
Oh, nightmarish. Got you, sorry.
Yeah.
I misheard what you said. Yeah, I type on my phone, and I'm bad at typing on my phone, and the screen's broken, it doesn't help.
Yeah. Mark tweeted us saying, at Nerd on Nerd, can Liam review his experience watching Henry V?
Was this in reply to the photo?
No.
Okay, right. Sorry, you just said that in such a way that it sounded like it was a reply.
This was just a tweet that we received from
Yeah,
Mark.
no, but I know, I get that now. It's just the way you said all that. It definitely sounded like he was replying to the photo, and I was like, why is that relevant?
No. So basically what this is all about is when I was at uni, at uni with Mark, we had to go to a film screening for Henry V. It's a shit film. What happens when I have to watch a shit film?
You fall asleep.
That's what I did in the lecture hall.
Nice.
So I responded with like a little emoji sleepy thing saying, is my review of watching Henry V? Mark said, but it was a very memorable sleep. I think you should revisit it to see how long you can stay conscious for the second time. Then I said, if Ellie is up for doing it as a culture swap, then we could be in business. And Mark said, maybe you can watch it together and have a nerd on nerd sleep off. Who can stay awake the longest? Which you would win.
I can't fall asleep if something's on.
Yeah. Okay, we've had some correspondence from Amanda.
Okay.
She said, oh dear, I feel like I started a how many reviews fight from my comments on the last episode. For the record, I like the reviews part and culture swap equally. There's only one culture swap I haven't listened to yet because I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
So what I'm inferring from that is Amanda thinks catching up with is shit, but she loves the reviews.
She hates catching up with and she hates housekeeping.
You heard it here first. And I think she probably only hates housekeeping because it's usually me and you arguing over stuff that Amanda has tweeted us.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I'm sorry that you don't like catching up with Amanda.
It's a shame. We'll try and make it better for you, Amanda. I'm sorry.
Yeah. She also said, very impressed by the marathon of reviews. Did you hear that, Ellie? Impressed.
She didn't say she liked it. She said impressed.
I mean, impressed is a positive word.
Okay, you're grasping at straws here. Carry on with the tweet.
Here we go. I know it is unlikely to happen, but I'd love to hear a more in-depth discussion from the two of you on Jessica Jones Season 2. I was also disappointed in it. Why is that unlikely to happen? Because you haven't caught up with it yet.
Will you do one when I catch up with it?
No, I'll have forgotten it by then.
No, exactly, yeah. So it's not because of me, because I'm saying I will definitely do one if you want to.
I'm happy to, but it will just be me going, I don't really remember what happened.
Okay, so yeah.
Then
so
you having to remind me.
So it's you saying you don't want to do one.
Because you didn't watch it in a timely enough way.
No, because you refused to rewatch it again.
Well, I disagree with that.
Okay, you can.
She also said, sorry about the Godfather and Sam thing. That was hyperbole. Is that right? Is that how you say that word?
I've always read it as hyperbole, which I don't think is right. As I was about to say it out loud, I was like,
Because it's hyperbolic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, hyperbole makes sense. That was hyperbole.
No, what is hyperbole?
Yeah.
That's it. We got there.
Sorry about the Godfather and Sam thing. That was hyperbole. You two are still my favourites. I hope you enjoyed that brief snippet into our minds as we figured out how to say that word. Amanda said, Ellie, if you want more in-depth trade negotiation discussion about Phantom Menace, I recommend the early episodes of the Blank Check Pod, Pure Gold.
I may have to listen to them then.
I asked Amanda which was the episode that she hadn't watched yet. Do you remember in that previous tweet? She said there was one culture swap. She said Princess Mononoke. I have plans to watch it for my podcast later this year, so come July, I can finally listen to the rest of that episode.
Way.
And she also said, as long as there's an Infinity War special, I'll be happy. I also have my tickets for Thursday night.
There will be.
And then she said, hearing the vastly different views on Feast that Liam had drunk versus sober makes me wonder what other films he's only seen drunk and might need rewatched.
That would be interesting, Liam.
Yeah, I don't really remember a lot of the films that I might have watched. Like, I don't really get drunk anymore.
No, but you used to. Oh, God, Liam, you're a nightmare.
I know, I had problems.
Jesus, no you didn't.
You shouldn't make fun of things like that either, because it's a very serious problem.
No, yeah, you were the one that said it.
Oh, just no. It's been said now.
Okay,
Nothing more needs to be said about it.
Okay, this is a nerd on nerd PSA. Hey, kids, don't make fun of that.
It's bad.
It's not funny.
No, it's not. It's really bad. It's like sex addiction. It sounds funny. It's not.
Okay, let's move on. But there more tweets?
Yeah,
Oh my
Amanda
God.
tweeted us saying, I have seen The Short Feast and it's delightful. I recommend you watch it. Remember I said that?
Yeah, that's the short film. Yeah, you don't need to remind me I feel like every tweet you read, you read it and then you go, remember when this happened?
Yeah.
Oh, Liam.
What?
Just trim this section down.
No, this section's gold.
Well, okay. Keep going. What other tweets have we had?
I did a tweet. Oh, this was
It's
a
the
little
fact that
naughty
it's not
tweet.
even just people tweeting us, it's just shit you've tweeted.
I did a little naughty tweet saying, for the next episode of Nerd on Nerd, Ellie wanted to do 50 Shades Darker as recommended by Amanda. Liam did not. A horrible compromise has been reached. So, teasing our audience. Amanda just responded saying, oh no, what does that mean? Oh.
Honestly, the best thing about it is when you say a compromise, it's not like us meeting in the middle. It's us picking the worst option we could have gone for.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
Neither of us are going to be happy.
No, exactly. And that's it for housekeeping.
Culture swap.
That's it. Back to another section that Amanda likes. Swap my culture.
Thank you. I panicked for a minute there. Didn't think you were going to say it.
Yeah, of course.
Whew.
End of the effing world.
Yeah, we watched End of the Fucking World.
There's going to be spoilers.
There are going to be spoilers, listeners. So if you haven't watched it and you want to, go do it. It was on Netflix. I think it might be on Channel 4, Catch Up, whatever, for English people, but I don't know.
If you've got Netflix, it's on there.
Yeah. What is... Liam? Hey, Liam.
Yeah, Ellie, what?
What is the end of the fucking world?
It's like Ragnarok, right?
Yeah. How much... Now, Liam, how much Norse mythology was in this TV show?
I'm going to say 0.
Yeah, I think it was 0.
Yeah. I don't really know why it was called End of the Fucking World.
No, this is fair.
Cool, okay. I was worried for a second there that maybe I missed something.
No, I was trying to think. When you asked that, I hadn't actually considered it, and then I was sort of having a little think,
Good
like,
question,
is there
right?
a reason? There probably is. I imagine, if we were to do research for this show, we'd have found out about it, but...
Oh, what? Research?
No, we don't do that.
That's not the Nerd on Nerd way.
This show was based on a mini-series of comic books.
I was aware of that.
I have not read the comic books, have you?
Nope.
Fair enough. That was my interesting fact, Liam.
Oh.
What happened in it? Liam, give me a brief summary of what this show is about.
Okay, a brief summary of the end of the effing world. Here we go. You've got our two main characters. Our main character... well, they're both main characters, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that bothers me, right?
Okay.
And I notice it all the time. Sorry, I realised I was meant to be doing a
No, it's fine.
synopsis. I
It's
got
just so
distracted.
nerd on nerd. Liam, do a summary. Okay, I'll do a summary. One thing I noticed about this TV show.
Just one thing that bothers me, right?
Yeah.
Literary adaptations.
Uh-huh.
I get that, like, books typically are written in the first person, and that typically gives you an insight into, like, a character's thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Fucks me off when films and TV and stuff that's kind of adapted from books are so lazy that they just give a voiceover to have that, like, shortcut into the thought process.
I mean, okay, that's fair, but
I
you
didn't
need
hate
it sometimes.
it in this.
You couldn't have had this show without that.
I didn't hate it in this. It's just, it's the sort of thing, right, where like when you were like, oh, it's based off of a comic series.
Yeah.
I already knew that, but if I hadn't have known that, I'd have gone, doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
Because of the fucking voiceovers.
But I mean, like, you genuinely do need it for this one.
It helps.
Because, like, the nuance of thought that they have in this is too complex to
provides
just
some of
show
the-
with, like, a character pulling a face.
Well, that and the juxtaposition provides some of the humour in this.
Yeah, because that is part of the good. One of the good things in this is the way that works.
But it still annoys me.
That's fine. It can annoy you. I just wanted to clarify that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, brief synopsis. We have two main characters. We've got James. He has issues with emotions.
Yep.
And he thinks he might be a psychopath. He has a bit of a tragic, like, something happened to him in the past. I think, basically, here's my theory, and we're going into spoilers. I think, in the past, he basically saw his mum drown herself in a car in a lake. And I think he didn't really know how to handle those emotions. So he just suppressed all of his emotions and kind of, like, thought he was psychopathic, but actually was just kind of like dealing with this horrific thing he witnessed when he was a kid.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a theory. I think that is what you're meant to assume.
Yeah. So he throughout his life, you see like flashbacks where he's basically killed like animals, to try and feel something, and like there's another thing. His hand is all scarred because he put it in like a
deep fat fryer.
Yeah, to try and feel feelings.
He didn't,
and he wants to kill a person.
Yep, he has decided that the next thing on his list is kill someone.
Yep. Along comes Alyssa. She feels, and I don't know if this is just, I don't know. She feels like not necessarily relatable, like slightly exaggerated, but I definitely feel like I knew girls like her at school.
Yeah, well, it's
that like trying to grow up a bit too fast kind of thing. Like,
I don't think it's necessarily trying.
Sorry, not trying to grow up necessarily. Thinking that you're trying to grow up too fast. So being really like, oh, I'm so open about sex and I'm think that's so happy to swear and all that sort of thing.
But that's all from the like, because it's not a case of her like, I don't know, trying to do it sounds weird because she's not like, it's kind of being forced on her by the fact that her mum and dad split up years ago.
Yeah.
Her mum has got a new husband recently. Her new husband actively hates her.
Oh, he's a dick.
He hates her and is also weirdly sexual to her. Like, doesn't actually do anything that we see. But
no, but there's
there are scenes where he's, like, staring at her ass and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, and so I think it's that like, she's grown up fast because...
Yeah, but there's also, like, an element of bravado there as well.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. But what I meant was I don't think she's trying to do that. I think it's like how James thinks he's a psychopath. I think Alyssa thinks
she thinks she's an nymphomaniac.
Except she doesn't because she hasn't had sex, so she's pretending she's an nymphomaniac.
Yeah, there we go, Dan. Which, in the same way, is James kind of pretending he's a psychopath, right?
Yeah, kind of. Well, I don't know. It feels different because James is actively doing stuff about it. Like he is. To all the evidence for James, I can see why he thought he was a psychopath.
Yeah.
Whereas Alyssa, because she hasn't... I don't know if the nymphomania part is the bit that's like... Because it feels like they're both meant to be representing a type of mental illness, right? Or they have mental illnesses. Not in like a... Like how depression.
I don't know if that's necessarily what I got from it. It could be, but I didn't get that from it personally.
Okay. It felt like that to me because you've got this kid who is suffering from super fucked up depression that is bad enough that he thinks he's completely dead inside.
Yeah.
And a girl who's basically just wants someone in her life to love her.
Yeah, and she's like, her mum clearly is just kind of like, her mum does care for her, but is so like, I think scared of losing her new husband that she kind of ends up sort of sidelining Alyssa.
Yeah, because I flip-flopped on the mum, but only because of that scene towards the end where you find out that she basically wrote a load of birthday cards from her dad, which actually were just the mum writing them. And like, I was like, oh, okay, so it's like, but the mum's still a bad person because she's let her stepdad basically abuse her daughter.
Yeah. So there's our two main characters.
Yeah.
They're both damaged in their own way. They meet each other and they decide to go on a bit of a road trip. And
yeah, James decides he's going to kill her.
Yeah, she decides
she wants to run away.
Yeah. And the whole show, it's only 8 episodes long. The whole show is them basically discovering feelings for each other.
Yeah.
Like, James realises, I think, probably about the halfway point that he's not actually a psychopath.
Yes. Well, yeah, it is pretty much exactly halfway, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And Alyssa, I don't know, like, she never exactly...
She has her realisation, but she has it in, like, the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
like, she knows
exactly.
She knows she's got feelings for him. She knows a lot sooner than James does that she has feelings for him.
Yeah.
Because in her, like, monologues, she talks about how she actually feels safe with him and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is juxtaposed with his thoughts being, I'm going to kill this girl.
Yeah.
But then, like, it's right at the end where she has her, like, her realisation about life, where she's like, oh, my mum wrote those cards, so I shouldn't have hated her like I did. Or maybe, you know, it's not quite as clean-cut as I thought, and my dad is kind of a useless twat.
Yeah. And there's also quite some quite dark moments in the show. So at one point, James gets molested by a guy that gives them a lift.
Yep.
And Alyssa's a bit taken aback by that because she walks in on it.
Yep, and she's like, why did you let him do it? And James is like, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a good answer. He just lets these sorts of things happen.
Yeah, he just sort of freezes up.
Yeah. Alyssa nearly gets raped.
By a murderer.
Who James then kills.
Yeah, which is the moment James realises he isn't a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh shit, that was actually horrible and I didn't like it. Which is,
Yeah, I mean, it's not the lightest of shows.
No, it's weird because it does have funny stuff in it.
Yeah, but it's dark.
It is dark, and it's like an emotional story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've also got Gemma Whelan in it, who is in Game of Thrones.
Yep, she's Thingy Greyjoy. Yara.
Yeah. Playing a lesbian in this.
Yep, she's a lesbian police officer who is on the case trying to track down... Basically, it starts as them... Do they join when the murder happens?
Yeah.
Yes, they do, yeah. They're trying to track down whoever killed this guy.
So, some context for that. James and Alyssa basically... What's the right word? Break into someone's house.
Yeah.
That isn't there to spend the night. During that time, Alyssa kind of meets this other guy and decides to try and make James jealous, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she tried to have sex with James.
Yeah.
And then he says, can we wait or something?
Yeah.
And then she just takes that as him not wanting her. So
Yeah.
she meets up with a guy and tries to fuck him. And then decides that she doesn't want to.
Yeah. While that's happening, James discovers that the owner of the house they're in, has like a secret collection of like videos and pictures of girls that he's abused, tortured, murdered.
Yep.
Before they kind of all leave, the guy comes back, traps Alyssa, James kills him, and they try and leave the crime scene in a way that's a bit like, look, this guy wasn't the best, and they leave those pictures out that were found.
Yeah.
Except the guy's mum is the one that finds the body, and she burns all the pictures before the police get there.
Yep.
Which I said to Kat, do you think your mum would do that for you? And Kat was like, oh, I'm not sure, but your mum definitely would for you.
Yeah, I can see that. I think your mum would.
I'd hope so. What about your mum?
I'd like to think my mum would turn me in.
Really?
Yeah, I hope so. Mate, I hope if you it turned out you were a serial killer killing women, I hope your mum, or anyone, doesn't have to be women, if you were a serial killer killing people and your mum found out, I'd hope she'd turn you in.
Yeah.
Because that's bad if she would just let a serial killer roam the world.
No, it is bad. That's true.
It's too late now. You've already said it. You're going to try and worm out of it with your little psychopath brain.
Yeah. No, I just watched it and I was like, yeah, I could see my mum doing that.
Yeah, I can see it too.
And it's not necessarily... I think the thing is, while it is bad, the whole point of them doing that is it's like, oh, I love my child so much that I'm going to try and like protect them from even the bad thing they did themselves, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're showing. It's just the most fucked up version of that.
Oh, yeah, incredibly so.
Yeah.
So
that they kill these people, and then these two police officers who are on that case...
And who also have had a bit of a little... affair.
Yeah, they turn up and try and solve the murder.
Yeah.
Then you also get Eunice and Terry. Eunice trying to like figure out where their relationship is.
Yeah.
Because she's like, we had a one night stand or whatever. I want to carry on, and the other police officer does not.
Like I personally I don't know what that storyline added to the show.
I thought it was good.
It never really felt particularly... I didn't mind it. It just... by the end, it didn't ever feel particularly resolved. I didn't think it really added a lot. Yeah,
no, it gets resolved in terms of... I think this show... I find it a little bit weird that you... I don't know, because you didn't... I'm not going to say not enjoyed it, because that always annoys you when I say that, and I do think you enjoyed this. But this is very much a coming-of-age story for three characters coming of age, including one who is already an adult, right?
Okay.
So... Eunice comes of age because she, like the other two, she is trying to get someone to love her, right? Which is Terry, the other police officer.
Yeah.
And then her story arc resolves when Terry is basically like, hey, let's just wait a day. The kid will be 18. That's a much bigger get. We can send this kid to jail. He's a psychopath. And Eunice is like, Eunice doesn't think he is. She's like, no, he's a troubled kid. We've got to help him. And she sort of realises that maybe she shouldn't fixate on this other person and try and make them the person they want to date. and instead,
Yeah.
like, no, go
I
help
mean-
this kid, do the right thing.
That's the other thing, right? So Eunice kind of comes to that conclusion, but has never met the guy. Like, it just, I don't know, I didn't necessarily buy that leap of logic.
Well,
And
she
I
spoke to his dad
almost-
and stuff and found out about this kid.
Yeah, but I can see where the detective, I think it is, Terry, where she's coming from, in that, like, if this is someone that's... Because obviously you think from the police and the facts that they've got, it just looks like a straight-up murder. It doesn't look like any sort of defence.
No, because that scene that happens where Eunice says we should get him now to help him. That's after they've discovered that the guy they killed was a murderer.
Was it?
Yeah, because she says to the mum, if you've got any evidence, anything at all,
yeah.
you need.
Oh, and they have the video camera.
Yeah, she was like, I get why you'd want to control this, but we will find out, and it is better to control it by giving us the information. And she shows them the camera, so Eunice knows that it was that self-defense, as does Detective Terry.
Yeah.
So maybe don't side with the crazy police officer that was like, no, let's arrest this kid and wait a day so that we can give him real jail.
I'm not sure.
Okay, but it seems weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, like the whole coming of age thing, but I was very indifferent to the show. It wasn't like Everything Sucks, where I didn't really like the first episode, but by the end of the show, I just loved all of the characters. Like with this, I didn't really like the first episode, and as it went on, it got like a little bit more tolerable, but there was no point where I was like, I can't wait to see what happens next. I really like these characters. Like I never quite got to that stage with it.
I really enjoyed it.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, because by how it sounds, it should have been the other way round.
Yeah, like on paper, this sounds like more of a me thing.
Yes, definitely.
Like
there's no space aliens in it, Liam.
No, I know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, mental.
I didn't particularly enjoy the ending.
I liked the ending. I'm less excited because loads of people were asking about a second season, and I was like, that would completely defeat that final shot, which I think is really good.
Which final shot?
Where James is running down the beach and you hear all the policemen shooting at him, but you don't actually see
Do you
what
hear
happens.
more than one gunshot?
Yeah, they take shots while he's running, then it cuts to black, and then you hear one gunshot.
Hear one. Yeah. So it's open to interpretation what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think happened at the end?
I don't think it matters, because I don't think that's what they were going for with it.
Okay.
I don't think that was put in there as a like, whoa.
It wasn't to create discussion.
Yeah, I think because I like I said, I think the point of it is like these characters coming to terms with who they are.
Yeah.
So you get that really emotional scene where James is basically like, Alyssa, they don't think you're involved in this, so I'm going to go get arrested.
Yeah.
She won't let him. He effectively knocks her out and then runs onto the beach with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And like, so I think the whole point of it is that by the end, James has come to terms with his mother's death and realised that he can love someone. And I think that's what the important bit is. So the fact that you don't know what happened to him doesn't matter. Which is why I think a second season would kind of suck, because you're defeating that. Like, what's the point?
Yeah. No, I don't particularly need a second season or series. I'd probably watch it if they did it, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
But I feel like this did enough.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got some fun trivia for you from IMDb.
Oh God, go on.
As the show progresses and James becomes more human and less psychopathic, his clothes shift from very dark to very bright, associated with his change in personality.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Did you not?
Nope.
No. They were quite subtle with the brightness of his clothes.
I mean, there's only, if you're talking about, I know you're being a dick, but that cannot be what they're talking about, because that isn't a shift across the season. That is literally an episode where they disguise themselves by him wearing a very, very bright shirt.
Yeah, the point that I'm making is that bit of trivia is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, cool. It is, because that isn't a slow shift. It's literally just like one episode they have to disguise themselves. So James wears a.
The only he wears that for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
That's my point. Is that
got you? I thought you were trying to be a dick to me because I was saying that I hadn't noticed that.
No. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I'm pleased you liked it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird that you didn't. In like not in a. Why didn't you like it? Just in a. This is the kind of show that I would have thought you would really enjoy.
Yeah, like if you'd have watched this, I could see you then saying to me, "Oh, I think you should watch it. You might like it."
Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't, because whenever that happens, you like to moan.
Yeah, I would have moaned up
Yeah,
a
I
storm. Have you got anything else you want us to talk about it? I felt like we were saying earlier, like how dark it gets in places. I did think the tone at times was a little bit muddled, almost. Like you'll have like a really dark scene where, like, you know, you've got this like 17-year-old kid who's being molested in a bathroom by this dirty old guy, and then they try and make like a bit of a. There'll be like a line of dialogue that's supposed to be funny, and I'm like, it's just not quite time to be joking yet.
Yeah.
Like tonally, I felt it was a bit all over the place, which I think was kind of the point, but I just didn't necessarily appreciate that. Well, not appreciate, but it didn't quite work for me.
I mean, that's fair enough. I sort of agree. Yeah, I agree. It's sometimes a bit jump. I mean, overall, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, just at certain points.
It's a proper like Channel 4-y way to do it.
Yeah.
That sort of like dark but with comedy elements.
Yeah, exactly. Out of 5?
I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. I would say 2.5 out of 5.
Fair enough.
Pretty average.
But, yep, and I think slightly above average. I'd go watch it if you thought any of the stuff we said was interesting.
I don't know if we did a brilliant job of selling the show.
Probably not.
If you think the idea of a psychopath and an nymphomaniac being molested and nearly raped sounds like your cup of tea, go watch the end of the fucking world.
I mean, to be fair, the start of that sounded interesting. A psychopath and a nymphomaniac.
It sounds like the start of a joke.
It does.
Just need to walk into a bar. Next time on Nerd on Nerd. So, we teased it earlier.
Yep.
It's American Mother's Day. So, apparently that's something that we now need to celebrate.
No, it isn't. What Liam is deliberately doing is last year, listeners, those of you who've been with us a while, will know that for English Mother's Day, we're English, we did 50 Shades of Grey because we did an episode for the mums. And all mums love 50 Shades of Grey except my mum. So, this year, we missed it. And I was like, it's a shame we missed it. We should do 50 Shades of Grey too. When's American Mother's Day? Let's do it then.
And I said, that's ridiculous.
Yep.
We're not American. Why would we celebrate American Mother's Day?
Liam only said it because he doesn't want to watch the second 50 Shades of Grey.
No, that's not necessarily true.
That's 100% true.
I said I'd be happy to do it for next Mother's Day.
Yeah, which we are doing.
One. Well, if you remember.
We are.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not something I'm particularly over the moon about doing.
No, neither am I.
I'm not going to remind you.
I'm not over the moon about doing it.
Yeah, but
it's part of the fun is that we have to suffer through it, Liam.
Well, there we go. So you can remember to do it then.
Okay, fine. By then, the second Sunstone books might have come out, and then we can do what we did last time, where we did Sunstone after 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
And talk about how much better Sunstone is.
So much better.
So much better. Anyway, so we missed that one. So I said, well, that's a shame. I really wanted to do it. I think it'd be really good. And Liam said, hey, let's meet in the middle by doing something that both of us will hate.
Yeah. I mean, so how we landed at this, I had to Google something, which now is going to be forever in my Google history.
Yep.
Which was, in 50 Shades Darker, do you see Jamie Dornan's penis?
Listeners will remember that was one of Liam's big issues with the first film.
And guess what?
You don't.
It's going to be my big issue with the next film too, by the sounds of it.
He wears sex jeans, Liam.
I don't care. So I had a little think, and I was like, right, if that's my big issue,
how can I
address
see
it?
Mr. Grey's penis? That's what Liam said. He sat there and he said, I just need to see his penis. Christian Grey. There we go, I remember the name.
Christian
Grey's penis.
Yeah. We've come up with a solution, haven't we?
Well, you have. I'm going along with it.
Yeah.
But this is your idea.
So, and this is all for Amanda. So, Amanda, I'm expecting you to watch along and get involved. Let us know your thoughts. Because next time, we're doing 50 Shades of Grey, a XXX adaptation.
Yep.
So, basically, a porn parody of 50 Shades of Grey.
It's going to be a tough one, listeners.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be very hard.
Very good. Oh, yeah. How long have you been sitting on that, Liam?
Just as soon as you said tough one,
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know why you went for that word instead of hard.
I was avoiding the obvious pun.
I wasn't.
Fair enough. It doesn't look good. We've both watched the Safe for Work trailer, available on YouTube if anyone wants to go watch it.
I might tweet a link out to it once this episode's gone up, maybe.
You should. That's a good idea. Yeah, go look at our Twitter. We'll have a link up for the Safe for Work trailer of this film. It doesn't look great.
Doesn't, no.
Because it looks a little bit like it's 50 Shades of Grey, but with porn.
I mean, that is surely what you're expecting, right?
I don't know. I was hoping there'd be some differences. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't wear sex jeans in this one.
Oh, I don't think he does.
I think they're going to come off very quickly.
Yep, and the doctor is here to see you now.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, so yeah, if you're at home, play along. All you have to do, watch the film before we record next.
Let us know what you thought.
Yeah, you can either tweet us or you can email us. Just to remind you, that film is 50 Shades of Grey, a XXX adaptation.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Amanda. You've kind of started this.
I don't know why you're getting the blame, Amanda, but...
I mean, okay, here's why. Ellie had completely forgotten about it until Amanda piped up.
That's true.
Now look what you've made us do.
Don't drag Taylor Swift into this.
If she was in it, I would have watched it by now.
Okay, well, good. Jesus. Liam, if they want to get in contact with us and tell us how good 50 Shades of Grey, a XXX adaptation is...
It might be bad. We're going in with an open mind.
Well, I'm going to go in positive.
I'm not.
Okay. How could they get in contact? Where, say I have Twitter...
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just wish the Nerd on Nerd guys had a Twitter account.
Oh, we do. It's
what
at
is it?
Nerd on Nerd.
Oh, okay.
It's real simple.
Okay, what if I'm on Gmail and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I've just written an essay about 50 Shades of Grey, XXX adaptation, and I don't know where to send it.
The beautiful thing about this, you don't even have to be on Gmail. You could be on Hotmail.
This is true.
On Yahoo.
Any kind of email.
Yeah. You could just email us, nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com.
And what if I was like Facebooking and I wanted my family to see my thoughts on 50 Shades of Grey, a XXX adaptation? Because I don't have a podcast that some of them listen to. So, they're going to hear how I had to listen to this film.
What?
Sorry, I had a little breakdown there. Where can they find us on Facebook?
If you just go to facebook.com/nerdonnerdpod, all one word. Easy.
Sorted. Could they see it on YouTube? Not the thing, but us.
Yeah.
That was a bad way of phrasing it.
They can find us on YouTube.
Where are we on YouTube?
Just search Nerd on Nerd, all one word, and I think we'll probably pop up.
Hey.
I think. If not, we've tweeted links and stuff to YouTube. Look, we're there. Find us.
You can also, rate us on iTunes and review us, or comment on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I think that's all the ways people can contact us.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, no excuses.
No excuses. Let us know.
Let us know what?
I don't know. Honestly, mate, I'm very tired. I don't know what's happened.
Well, okay. Let us know your thoughts on 50 Shades of Grey at XXX adaptation. I mean, I don't care about your thoughts on just 50 Shades of Grey. It's specifically this XXX adaptation that we're looking for.
What if someone has watched like a different porn parody of it?
Then, yeah, you can tweet us about that.
Cool.
Have you ever seen any porn parodies in the past?
The Suicide Squad one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know. Just wanted to watch it.
What was it called?
I can't remember. Let me Google that for you, Liam. Oh, it's just called Suicide Squad XXX, an actual Braun parody.
This is what really fucks me off.
Yeah, lazy naming.
Yeah, like the human sexipede, fantastic. A nightmare. No, sorry. A Wet Dream on Elm Street. Fantastic.
That is clever.
The Texas Vibrator Massacre.
Also good.
Like, there's some creative ones. We've all heard of the classics like Shaving Ryan's Privates.
Yep. That would live on in legend. I mean, this one, right? Honestly, they should have done a gay adaptation and called it 50 Shades of Gay. We'd have all been fine with that.
Or 50 Shades of Sex.
That's not
like, it doesn't have to be that creative.
Yeah, but that's not... That was bad.
50 Shags of Grey.
That's better. I'm on board with that one.
There you go. And look how long it took us to come up with that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I feel like the people that made this porn parody are not going to have sat in a room for, like, more than 10 minutes before just being like, let's go film it.
Yeah, but we didn't. That took us all of, like, 15 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I see what you mean.
Yeah, like, there's no excuse to be that lazy with your naming conventions.
There's not.
Is there anything that you would really like to see a porn parody of?
I think you've got to go for something weird, right?
Such as?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like Princess Mononoke. I don't want to see that because that would ruin that film. Oh, Jesus, Princess Mononoke, a porn title.
Yeah.
Princess Wanapoke.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
I think we need to... no, that's it. We end that there.
Bye. Bye.